Hey everyone, how's it going? Fireborn here, and we're going to be doing Watcher Nights. So this is going to be probably the most difficult part of the run. Almost certainly, actually. You're going to die a lot, you're going to want save states. Be patient with this, it takes some time, but also focus on learning properly. Don't just use safety strats, because safety strats are going to make it more difficult for you in the long run, because you're not going to be learning the fight properly. So just focus on doing kind of similar to what I'm doing. I'm going to be showing you first of all the basic damage rotation that you want to be doing in response to their most common attack. So there's 3 attacks that Watcher Knights can use. Don't focus on fighting 2 of them at once, just focus on fighting 1 of them at once properly. There's 3 attacks, okay? There's going to be the sword swing, which is a 2-part swing, one of which is horizontal, and it's going to be just to the side of their body. There's going to be no hitbox above their head. And then it also has a part behind them, so they'll take a swing behind them, and there's going to be a hitbox behind them. Then they'll swing forward, and there's going to be a hitbox in front of them, obviously. And then the second part of their combo is going to be above their heads. Okay, that's important to think about. They can also roll at you, and they can bounce, okay? Those are pretty straightforward. So let's take a look at this fight. Okay, you can dream nail at this point, just as they spawn. You can't hit them yet. I'm going to start off with a fireball and 2 nail swings, and dash over their head. Okay, you can see, this is the basic swing. So you can dash over his head as he's doing the swing because there's no hitbox above him. So you want to always be close to them so that they're doing these attacks and you can bait them out. They won't do them if they're far away from you. So bait out these attacks, and then as he's doing this swing, you jump over his head and dash. So let me show you. Okay, now let me show you this a couple more times. So there is an amount of attacks that you do. Let me show you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And that's the idea, is you dash over their heads as they're doing the melee swing, and then as you're falling on the other side of them, you nail fireball, nail, nail, and as you're doing that, you jump and dash again. Okay, so it's always about the nail, fireball, nail, nail, rinse and repeat, dash over their head. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so fireball as he spawns. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I just know their HP, so I knew he wouldn't hit me. But yeah, that's the basic idea. Let me show you this. It's too early. 2. See, he's doing the swing, so I jump over his head. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see he did a bunch of swings in a row. There's a maximum number of swings they can do in a row. Then they'll always either do a bounce or a roll. So he reached that amount, then he has to do a roll. So you just be ready that if they swing several times in a row, they're gonna bounce or roll instead of swing. So as they're in this state, you can get fireballs on them. Very important, because you can't hit them with nail and actually damage them. So you might as well use this time to get fireballs. While they're bouncing, you can usually get 2 fireballs. If they're doing a bounce that moves far, like across the screen, you can double hit them sometimes. That's usually more the case when there's 2 of them, because if they're close to you, they'll bounce towards you, which is just going to be almost straight up. You can't double hit that. So you just get 2 fireballs off. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then as they land from the bounce, they're going to be on cooldown for a while. You can usually get 4 nail swings in before you jump and dash over their head, assuming they do a nail attack. This guy's rolling, so what I'm going to do is try for a double or a triple. It's going to be kind of awkward because I'm coming out of the pause menu, as you can see. But can see as they go away from you, as they roll away from you, you can get triple hits with the fireball if you're in the right spot and you cast towards them. So with all that in mind, let me keep showing you this. I'm gonna keep giving you guys tips as I show. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fireball, fire. 1, 2, 3. I went for 3 hits instead of 4 because my last fireball had me stunned for a moment. I was casting my last fireball as he was landing, so I could only get 3 swings in. You just have to know the timings like that, but generally it's safe as he's landing from the bounce, get 3 swings in, then continue, rinse and repeat. 1, 2. Okay. Let me show you once more. 2, 3. Nail. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. It's gonna roll or bounce. Triple hit. And that's a good first watcher. That's what you want to be doing. Now I'm gonna start showing you the next phase of the fight. You can see that fireball was too early. So something you'll notice is you need to be at the right height to get triple hits. Sometimes you'll already be in the air when you notice they start rolling. So you can't jump from the ground because you're in the air. So you have to dash while you're in the air to put yourself to delay your fall, essentially. So you're in the air and you want to dash into the right spot in order to get the triple hit. So you can also delay your fall sometimes so you don't land on them by fireballing. So if you're in the air, you just find yourself in the air and you're afraid you're going to land on one of the Watcher Knights, you can pogo them, but they're rolling, so you can't damage them. But if you fireball, you can damage them while also preventing yourself from falling into them. And one thing to note is that you can also be above them and fireball them without touching their hitbox. So you can be like right here and fireball and you won't be hitting them, or you won't be getting hit by them. Sorry. Three, 4. You saw I jumped in order to avoid the nail swing, but then I saw he started rolling. So I'm like, okay, I need to delay my fall so that I'm in the right height to get the triple hit as he goes by. So I was already up here. So instead of just like pogoing him to avoid the damage, I dash to the right, and then he continues the roll, and then as I fall, I get to the perfect height for the triple hit. So you can get a double dream nail here with the right timing. Okay, so this is pretty much the same thing. You can see what I just told you about getting fireballs while you're above their head. See, this is a bit more complicated, okay? But the ideas are the same in terms of the bread and butter things that you do. You just want to focus on one knight and bait out the nail swings, and then cast fireballs so that your fireball goes through the first one and also hits the second. That's your main goal. Don't focus too much on getting triple hits when there's 2 knights, because that's sometimes going to make their HP really imbalanced. Just focus on doing the bread and butter punish on the nail swings that they do, and then also hit both of them with fireballs. That's the main thing you should focus on. Also, you want to keep their HPs roughly even, so don't focus too much on one knight so that one knight dies super early. You want to get them to both die at roughly the same time so that the third phase is consistent. 3. Now, one thing to note is sometimes when you dash over their head like that, they bounce. So you want to make sure you're dashing at the right height so that if they bounce, there's that like little mini bounce they do as soon as they start the bounce. You want to dash above that height so that you don't get hit by that little mini bounce. 2, 3. Okay, that's like just the perfect height. So let me show you the double dream nail. You don't have to do this. It's not mandatory, but it's kind of nice to learn. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, just get those. Get both of them with the fireballs. Okay. Just focus on playing solid and not getting hit. That's something more advanced that you can do. Don't try to learn that right away unless you're crazy. And that's a pretty good third phase. But I'm just going to keep showing you a couple more fights so I can commentate them and give you guys some ideas and tips. Okay. Now, one thing is that when they're rolling back, they actually start like, when they do the telegraph, see he was rolling to the right, but he actually moved to the left a bit first. So you have to be pretty far behind them in order to avoid getting hit by that telegraph, okay? Let's keep that in mind. 2, 3, 4. 3. Okay. Let's go for the double dream nail. You don't need to when you have this much soul. You can see I whiffed the first dream nail, so I wait an extra amount before I go for the second. You can see I was in the air at that point, so I delayed my fall with a dash so that I was in the right spot for the triple. Now that's a more advanced thing that you can do, is when one Watcher Knight is rolling and you want to hit both of them with a fireball, but the one is rolling past you so that they'll be both on opposite sides of you, you can go for a fireball like that where you just go above their head and you hit them, you go above their head so that one rolls under you and you can fireball both of them. Okay, now that's a really important thing as well. So you see there was one Watcher Knight off screen and he wasn't doing anything for a while. And you could actually watch him, he walked back onto the screen. So whenever a Watcher Knight goes into the walking state, this is really important. It's only going to happen when you're talking about two Watcher Knights at once. One of them might go into the walking state while they're off screen, or just like they'll walk towards you because you're focusing on one Watcher Knight, the other might start walking. When they go into that state, they will always roll at you unless you go into their range. Then they will always nail swing. So once they're in the walking state, they are completely manipulatable. You can do whatever you want with them. So if you want to bait them into a roll, just stay out of their range and you know they're going to roll. They will not bounce, ever. So you can bait them to nail swing. If they're walking towards a knight that you're already fighting, you can stay out of their range until they get stacked up onto the other knight, and then you can hit both of them at once, or you can just bait them to roll and get a triple hit at a really good time. Just pay attention to the walk, because that's really important. One, two, three. See, I saw him walking, so I know the timing at which he'll start going for the roll. So I timed my pogo dash over this guy's head, so that I would be in the perfect spot to get a triple hit on this guy as he goes by, and also hit this guy with the fireball as well. Didn't have enough soul. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing a couple more fights just to show you guys more and see if there's anything I can remember to show. It's only a double hit, so it's too far to the left. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. One. Okay. You can heal up here. This is the Devil Dream Nail. Can heal up here. Don't be afraid to heal up. It does not lose that much time. I often heal up in my fights. See, I baited him into getting into this position. Oh, I didn't really do anything, but I saw that he was happening to get into that position. I'm just trying to look smart. But yeah, when he does that walk, you can just stack them up like that. 1, 2, 3. Dream Nail. 1, 2. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You don't have to do that pogo, but you can once you get better. 3. And you delay the second one if you miss the first. See, that's a quad hit. Another quad hit. Quad hits are really good. It's a triple hit. Oh, this guy's really close to dying. 3. I'm gonna start showing you guys the more advanced strats that I use in the next fight. And it's just an alternate version of the bread and butter. Oh, here's an important thing. Okay, you see this guy flew onto the screen with a bounce, and his bounce stopped after the first bounce instead of continuing and bouncing another time. Sometimes they glitch out like that, and this guy, once he gets into that state, that Watcher Knight is going to stay the same in that state. He's going to continue doing the single bounces for the entire rest of the fight. So you can see he's going to bounce up like this, and he's just going to stop. And then you can hit him as soon as it stops. So you just have to be ready for that, because this is really awkward. Sometimes you'll expect them to go over your head, and you dash, and you just end up dashing right into them. But this is predictable after the first time it happens. It will always happen every time they bounce for the rest of the fight. But that's just for that individual Watcher Knight, not for both of them. You can see that guy bounced just fine. But that guy is not bouncing properly. Okay, you can see I jumped to the height where he would roll under me if he didn't die by that. So it's important to hedge like that. So just in case you're misjudging their health, just make sure that you're at the right height where they can roll under you in case they don't die in that spot. So I'm going to show you the more advanced opening that I do. You don't have to do this. In fact, I wouldn't recommend it to beginners, but if you're looking to learn the more advanced strats, then definitely try this out. 1, 2, 3. And at this point, because he rolled, it's kind of just improvisation. But that's the first Watcher quick kill. Well, that's not the quick kill, but that's the strat you'd use to get it. Let me just keep doing it until I get the quick kill. I didn't get it again. But there's also, like, as you get more advanced at this fight, the thing you want to focus on is the openers for every pair of knights. So you want to get this double Dream Nail. I missed it. Oh, he's really not dead. So, you can see they're out of sync. That's when you don't kill them both at the same time. That means you'll be getting more damage on the one Watcher Knight. You want to damage both the Watcher Knights at the same time. That's why it's important to kill both of them at the same time, so that the third pair spawns at the same time and you can start getting fireballs on both of them at once. So let's show you this, hopefully this time. One, two, three. My timing's really off for this, so I'm not able to show. But you can see the strat is harder. But the idea is that you do, as you dash over their head, instead of doing like slash fireball slash slash, you go for a fireball pogo fireball pogo. Okay, that's the basic idea. Let me illustrate this. You can also do it as the second pair spawns, and it's really good. Let me try to get a good pattern for it. And that's a good way to open up the fight as well. That's one of the things you have to avoid, is the backswing. So you can see I have to heal here, or I want to heal here, so I can get a double dream nail and I can get up to full soul. As long as I get the timing right, which I don't because I don't have my audio cue. But the thing you'd normally do there is do go like this. And it's very hard to do, but it's worth learning eventually. So the opening I always do here is 1, 2, 3, 4, without getting hit. That's, you know, it's bound to happen. So I'm gonna try to get these openings so I can show them to you, but don't focus on copying this too much, because the thing you should be copying is the bread and butter I showed you before. Okay, and this was almost the quick kill. So the idea with the quick kill is you do that, and he does nail swings until they can't do nail swings anymore, because there's a limit to the number of nail swings they can do in a row, like I said before. And then at the end they do a roll, and you double hit the roll. That's it. That's the quick kill. There's also other quick kills, but that's the one you see the most often. So that's just keeping their health very equal. Let me show you this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he bounced, which is the bad RNG. See, I got a double hit. Okay, that's a pretty good fight. I'm gonna keep doing some more practice attempts. You don't have to keep watching. This is gonna be the more advanced stuff, so you don't have to learn it. But you can move on to the next video if you're comfortable doing the beginner strats. You can see, like, it's not worth learning as a beginner, but if you're really looking to save time on this fight, then you want to think about this stuff. Okay, and that is the right opener that you want to do for these two guys. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I missed the first hit, so it's unfortunate, but it happens. Okay, this guy's glitch bounced. Oh. Okay. gonna do one more attempt. That last attempt illustrated the second wave opener that I normally do really well. Of course, these strats are more risky, so it's really easy to get hit by bounces like that. Oops. Now it's really slow. Let me try to get a double. Want to be careful of the wall eating your fireballs, because that's the thing in this game, unfortunately. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, I guess. So when he rolls to the right like that, typically I'm in the air already. So when I see the roll, I just hold my jump button and I keep jumping, and then I go down a bit and then I dash to the right, and he should be in the right spot to get a triple right here. Now, something that you saw there was that I saw the guy rolling to the right. You don't actually have to jump at that point, because if you jump up, you're going to have to land on the ground to refresh your dash. So instead, I'm just using the iframes to stay on the ground and get the triple hit, and then go to the right. Still grounded, so I can just immediately dash instead of waiting to fall to the ground. If that makes sense. Okay. That's going to be it for Watcher Nights. I'm going to show you the climb up to Lurian in the next video, because I assume not everyone watched this entire thing. If you have any questions about this fight, you should probably ask in speedrunning, but don't do the pogo strats. Like I said at the beginning, they will impede your learning big time. Anyway, that's it for Watcher Nights. Stay tuned for the next video.